The mighty Thor welcomes us to Classic Comics Cavalcade. Yeah, I painted this. Something I ordered off of Etsy. Isn't
Oh,
that
nice.
cute?
That's good. Yeah, it looks
I
awesome.
think it turned out fun. I love the way the cape looks all red and
Looks
stuff.
like the Olivier Coipel Thor.
Yeah, it's not our version of Thor, but yeah. Does that look good?
Looks great.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Etsy. Thank you, Etsy seller. Oh my goodness, I can't remember the Etsy seller name. So today we're looking at Thor 343, which is Surtur attacks New York City. The issue you weren't looking forward to that much.
Oh, I said that last week. My bad.
Did you change your mind?
I liked it. It was good. I mean, it's a fight.
It's a
It's,
fight.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It was good. I mean, I mean, anytime you get Walt Simonson art, you can't complain. It's cool, bombastic actions.
Starts with a great cover.
Yep. Hero, you know, the hero born or reborn.
Yeah, the
Some
hero,
of the old
the
Vikings.
reborn hero. Yeah, let's talk about that in just a second because I think that's such a cool element to the story, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know why I did that with my voice at that. They were just now, by the way. Godzilla's attacking New York. That's what this kind of is, right?
Yep. Excuse for Simonson to draw Godzilla, draw his favorite thing, which is dinosaurs.
So much detail in this dinosaur. He's got a
Hmm.
lot of spines, got a lot of ribs in his tail. This guy is he's a big dude.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of a fish.
Yeah. I wonder what his voice is like. I love how the John Workman's word balloons are like this blobby kind of thing for him.
Oh yeah, kind of like electric almost with the yellow. Although I don't know if that was in the original one, the coloring around the word
I
balloon.
think it is.
Hmm.
I think it is because I think they copied it for this. Although here there's not yellow, so maybe not. Maybe I'm just talking out my ass.
I like how the people are on that first page are jumping out the window. Can you imagine being next to a monster like that and having to run away from it? I'd be freezing.
Oh yeah. It's terrifying, right? The building's coming down. These guys are all fully dressed too. Is this a workplace? Where are they?
I
Are they criminals? Are they stealing something?
mean, this is New York City, so it might be like a skyscraper.
It's true. They could be working in their skyscraper and Godzilla creatures just pulling it all down.
It is a
Easy.
lot like Godzilla because if you look at the next few pages, like the soldiers and stuff, just like Godzilla movies and everything.
Yeah, totally. Totally looks like a Godzilla movie. And like he always does, Simonson gives us these tangents. So we get to see Lorelai hanging out in her lingerie dreaming of Thor. She'll come back. And then, like it's a cliche that artists draw a lot and there's few words, but this is really a nice bit of dialogue between these two.
I mean, I don't usually mind that. I
This
don't mind more drawing, less reading.
you're getting your money's worth, right? Well, this is Thor and that old man who he encountered last issue, who is kind of given up on life, and Thor's giving him a reason to live. And we see Thor like he won't kill him; he's going to give him a chance for redemption.
So the premise of this is that in the last issue, he called upon Thor so he could die a warrior's death so he can kind of loophole into Valhalla, right?
Yeah,
And so now he's like weak. Thor didn't give him the satisfaction of killing him. Now he has the opportunity to truly go into battle against Fanfear.
a warrior's ending.
And he's refusing it because he's saying, well, I'm weak, I'm too weak, I'm old, And I kind of identify with him a little bit. I'm getting weaker as I get older.
I can appreciate that.
But that's probably because I don't lift weights, but that's a different topic. But yeah, so that's basically what it is. And Thor's gonna give him another chance to for redemption. He'll get another chance for redemption, which is in the form of fighting Fanfear.
Hmm.
And he calls upon the horse of the Valkyrie to come and so he can ride with the horse.
Love that big panel on this page.
Hmm. The next page is the amazing one with the horse.
Oh yeah,
Cloud Rider.
that's just such a magnificent horse, isn't it?
Is that a horse? What do they call it in
Oh, it's Pegasus, right?
Pegasus? Okay, that's it.
I want to go back a second though. Love the way Simonson draws the two of them on this cliffside, especially this larger panel here on the side.
Hmm.
You just get a sense of how high up they are and how kind of brave they are to be there. It's like they are, it really feels like they're out in a cliff in the middle of nowhere, screaming for help. And then that moment when they're breaking through the clouds, when the horses are breaking through the clouds in that last panel, I think it's pretty
Hmm.
spectacular.
The Pegasus, the cloud, and the tooth grinder,
I
the
guess it's not the
goats.
clouds, it's the sun.
Yeah, yeah. Or it's more like they're coming from another realm, right? So there's like a big
Yeah.
old.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So coming from another realm, it just feels big, right? So
Hmm.
when we get this full pager, it just feels so like we're ready for this. And he does the rule of 180. Simonson does the rule of 180 where we see Thor and his friend on one side here, and then we flip to the next page, and the camera's turned 180 degrees, and we see them straight on.
Hmm.
So we're always like grounded where they are on the page too. It's really like clean storytelling.
Hmm.
It'd be really easy for your mind to get lost between these two pages, but instead they just play off so well. Even the placement of the word balloons is perfect. And then we get yet another tangent because he loves his tangents, subplots.
Hmm.
Do you care at all about Carnilla?
Well, I'm interested in the storyline. I'm not sure who they meet. I don't really understand as like they put um they put him in with another person. He's in a cell. Who's the cell is a rune warrior. Which cell is he on?
Yeah, I can't remember now. He's just in a, I yeah, he's
Supposedly Boulder is in the cell with another person. And then there's a
next to your
Carnilla.
own. Yeah,
And Carnilla does not like who is she enemies with? With
she,
Loki?
Odin, I think. Yeah,
With Odin or Loki?
I think she's Loki's buddy, isn't she?
Oh, okay. Loki, if you've cost me this one treasure, my vengeance will be terrible. I guess. Okay, I thought she was talking about being mad at Loki for some reason.
I think they're like allies, but she wants to make sure he stays on her side.
Oh, got it.
I
Okay.
guess we'll see in a couple weeks. Wouldn't that headgear hurt her head? She must have really strong neck muscles.
Yeah. The hair keeps it up too.
It's big 80s hair. She really like it really is this like 80s version of a goddess, isn't she?
Hmm.
Big hair, tiny waist, huge breasts.
Just like
And
Thor.
yeah.
He's got
Just
big hair, tiny waist, huge breasts.
the only thing she's missing is high heels.
Yeah. Oh, actually, she is kind of wearing slippers, which is not great for battle.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, she's changed it to her battle boots. I like that little business with the rose. How the rose is kind of at the center of those four panels in the middle of the page. Kind of, it's just a neat little touch. It's like on a stage play, you'll see someone play with a prop or something. That's how that feels to me.
Hmm.
It's that's kind of this little bit of unnecessary flair. Very
Hmm.
Simonson, I guess. But yeah, I think she hates Odin because of the her henchman is saying perhaps we'll be inviting Odin himself to dinner next. Like, come on. And then we get ready for the battle.
Let's do this.
Does that last panel look weird to you? Does his face look strange?
Doesn't look like a Simonson drawing.
It's too cramped or something. Just it looks like someone else came in and inked at the last minute or something.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Let's go to the battle. Elif is young again. He's got youth in his bones. God, I
Well, he's
wish I could
still
just go
old.
see a god and have my limbs and sinews be refreshed like that.
Mhm. Well, he's not really, right? He's just more willing to do it.
Yeah, he feels the power of youth. Yeah.
He just he just has that. You know how like when you talk about athletes and like the older athletes, their physical abilities have waned, but their mental abilities are stronger. So this guy's gained his mental abilities.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay.
He's mentally tough. Like when Jordan came back and he was in his 40s and scoring 20 points a game.
Because he knows how to play the game.
Yeah, his shooting percentage was down, but he still was once in a while he could drop 50 points.
We should do the Jordan classic comics cavalcade, the classic Jordan cavalcade.
That's right. Both the yeah. From
Probably
Fennec.
get 100 times more hits every month too. So then Odin comes to see them off. Nice little touch, right?
Mm-hmm.
The old man. Elif never quite puts it together. This is Odin, but of course Thor knows, and he's probably chuckling. You can see the look on his face in the first panel. He's smiling.
Yeah, he looks like Gandalf.
He does look like Gandalf.
But I think it's kind of like in the old days, you know, when the gods would appear, people didn't know it was them.
Yeah.
Kind of
I
like
love that. He totally looks like Gandalf. Oh my God. And what's his name read these books?
Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson, of course.
But I thought you meant the original one, the cartoon one, the guy who made the cartoons in the 80s.
Oh, Ralph Bakshi.
Bakshi, yeah. Because his
Yeah. Oh my God, what an interesting man. His movies are crazy. So interesting. So we get more Doom. The sword is named, then his name is Twilight.
look at the badonkadonk on that demon.
Oh yeah, dude.
Nice butt glutes. That guy does a lot of squats.
He is working hard at the
Yeah,
gym.
a lot of squats.
He's doing some weight, not just regular squats, they're weighted squats for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, yeah. All he does is hammer and work out, looks like.
Hmm.
Talk about a professional athlete. I wonder how he compete. I wonder if he competes in like the galaxy-wide weightlifting competitions.
I don't know. I think no, knowing from this particular these six panel or seven panels, he's more about the optics rather than the
Yeah, so the sword is named and it's gonna have something to do with Twinkie vampires, I guess.
Mhm.
Easy joke to make. Okay. Okay, I had to make that bad joke. Here comes the battle.
I like the soldiers being still in there. It's like the Godzilla feel. It's kind of cool.
Totally. Totally.
It's a
They're far
long
enough away. You
battle.
can imagine them having Japanese faces.
I wonder if Simonson looked at like manga. I know he does actually, because he came out with a book not recently, but maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and I think it was called A Coin or something. And he did different styles of comic books, and one of them was in manga form.
Oh, I'd love to see that. Do you have that?
Yeah, yeah,
Well, you got to show that next time.
yeah, yeah. Maybe we could read it if you wanted to.
I would love to. I'd love to read that, especially if I could find it digital.
Mhm.
That would be awesome. Even the bit how he like, so I skipped ahead a page here.
Oh, I think you're not okay. Now you're sharing. Okay.
Even the bit where like he draws all the detail on the boot and you see all the laces on the boot, like that's just like that's professionalism above and beyond. He didn't need to do that.
Yeah. I never think of Simonson as a details guy, but it's interesting that he detailed that part.
Right? He's got the eyelets all up and down each side. Like, was he just bored watching a football game one week as he was drawing, and he just kind of noodled on it some more?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, sometimes you wonder, like, why did he draw so much there? Like, I get it, like he wanted to draw more of Fafnir or whatever the dude's called. Like, that's he's obviously having fun with the dinosaur.
I
The
think to me
food,
it's the illusion of movement because you see the soldier in the background and the foot in the foreground. It's all you could see like people are like running, you know. Your
yeah.
eye goes from left to right. People are just running all over the place.
I don't think Sal Buscema would have drawn the whole boot out every lace though.
Hmm.
But there he is looking like Godzilla, like buildings all around him. He's holding rebar in his hand. He is a bad MFer. This dinosaur is out for revenge. And I love how he talks in like this Shakespearean dialogue too.
Everybody's Shakespeare. The
I
whole
shall commence the serious destruction of this city. You know, Godzilla wouldn't have talked that way.
Mhm.
I shall commence. Like, oh my God. Are you writing a contract? Or are you destroying people's lives? Oops, I skipped ahead a page. I didn't mean to. Love the look on Thor's face in the middle here. It's like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, bring it on.
He also mentions death to fanfare. You don't really see that in comics as much. The hero's talking about killing.
Yeah, but he's a god, right? He's fighting a demon, a monster.
Yeah.
And here's where the battle comes. And like you were saying, like it's a battle. It's a pretty freaking fun battle.
Hmm.
John Workman's playing a lot with the lettering too. And it's so dynamic. You know, I've ranted more times than I can count on this show about like the use of diagonals to make the scene more dynamic. Look at how many things are like in a diagonal composition here. How
Hmm.
your mind is just like attracted to all this stuff. There's just so much motion and excitement here.
Hmm.
And even like the way the fire goes between the final two panels, it just like all reflects back on itself. Or whether it's the thrashing tail in panel two, like immediately hits the thrashing of the tail in panel three. It's just really good visual continuity. It just keeps your eye going. We're just full of so much praise of Simonson, but he deserves it. Except I think he's got too many subplots. Doesn't it feel like this is just like too many things taking us away from the core story?
Um, yeah, but I think he's just trying to come up with stories for future, especially when you're like on a serial monthly. It's kind of hard to come up with stories. So he's putting up plots up there dangling so that he can always pick them if he runs out of ideas.
Yeah.
Frankly, I think these last couple issues, and one of the reasons I wasn't super excited about them was that I think they're kind of like fill-in stories.
Mm.
Like Godzilla. I mean, it's great that it's fighting and kids love it, but it's like I guess you know the best part about the story is the redemption of the warrior.
But yeah, it is kind of episodic.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of
It's more like old school TV in a way, right? Where it's like these stories are a little bit separate from each other.
from what I understand, he does bring everything back together at the end, right?
Yeah, and we'll see that soon. We'll see that soon.
Soon, you mean like in 2 years,
That's
4 years?
100 more episode of Classic Comics Cavalcade. So yeah,
Oh,
we'll also see play out in Orion and Manhunter and whatever else we read by Walt.
hmm.
Hey, we get a cameo from Chuck Churkall here for on the spot news.
Is this a real person?
No,
No.
I think
Okay.
he's just throwing this in. I've never heard of this guy before in comics either.
Oh, okay.
I just think it's cute how he just throws that. And he's terrified. Love this line too. The force of the blow was felt as far away as Pennsylvania.
Hmm.
That's just like, wow. That's like a perfect caption to me.
Yeah,
And yet
it's action.
unbelievable.
I was just saying, it's a lot of action. I like that middle panel, the second panel on that page.
Yeah.
Fire coming through. Um, My favorite part is the next page. No, no, no. I mean, I think a lot of it is repetitive, but then the page after this is like one of my favorites, as like the old soldier is trying to pull himself up, and he's bloodied. That's great storytelling. It's so fun. It's fun.
It is fun. He tells it so well, doesn't he?
Mhm. The son of Odin must not perish because Elif failed in his duty. And he just pulling himself up.
Uh, it, he's really thinking about the page as a whole design element too, with the words like at the corner on the top and the white space to like emphasize the struggle.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little like Spider-Man when he's under the giant equipment in the old Ditko comic. He
Yeah.
the space. The old man is ready. He's got the spear. And then you see how tiny he is next to Fafnir, but it's enough.
Mm-hmm. And then Thor does finish it. I'm just surprised. Thor's having trouble fighting a lot in this series.
Well, this is a giant ass creature.
That's true. That's true. The other
He's
thing I was
super.
thinking of is like, how effective is a hammer in fighting? I mean, I could see a spear or a sword because you can pierce through armor and flesh, but what does hammer do? Just give him a concussion or something?
Yeah, it's true, right? And he hits him hard enough to feel the blow in Pennsylvania, but
Oh,
it
okay.
doesn't actually like cause him to bleed or anything.
Yeah, that's true.
But again, there's no blood from the spear here either.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little spear. So does he kill the fanfare? Did he kill fanfare?
Doesn't explicitly say, does he? So he hammers the spear in more. So I guess it's implied that like it's going into his heart or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Maybe give him a heart attack. You know those kinds where like you don't see bleeding, but it's internal.
Yeah. Okay.
He does look kind of out of shape. Fanfare does.
He looks like he's wrecked.
Susceptible to heart attacks. The,
Well, you'd be susceptible to a heart attack too. Someone stuck a spear in your chest.
oh yeah. The last scene is nice. He gives him a hug.
And then the grand moment. This is just beautiful stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is dead because it's a well, yeah, I think he's dead because the dragon he lights the funeral pyre. And it's kind of for both of them, right?
Ah, okay, got it.
He's putting the dog at the Vikings' feet. That's how they burn their dead, they say.
Mm-hmm.
This is just so dynamic and beautiful. This makes the whole two-parter worth it to me.
Mm-hmm. It's nice, yeah.
And
That
then,
page.
oh, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Isn't it? Like you got all of Brooklyn there. You see the low buildings and the gods above it. That's just such a spectacular image.
That's a page to own, even though it doesn't have Thor in it.
Oh, hell yeah.
The only thing is in the bottom, the bottom panel, the head soldier or whatever, the general is all like, "Let's go home, Corporal. Nothing more that we can do here." Well, aren't you supposed to like clean up the wreck? Like he's like, she's leaving the wreck and leave. Hey, nothing to see here. We gotta
Oh,
leave.
you know who cleans up the wreck is damage control.
Oh, okay. Good knowledge. Yeah.
They hire them to come and clean it up. Remember that series? That was a fun series. And then we close out with Thor. Thor comes home and like you would at the end of an enormous battle, he's just beat up, he's depressed, he's feeling lonely.
Nice.
I really like that moment because it's always like, I won, I can celebrate. And now what?
Special drink to celebrate and a back rub. Take your shirt off.
Because like, what did Michael Jordan do after they won the championship? So they got a week to celebrate, and then the they got the parade, they partied for a few nights. Then what do? Is it like, All right, we've done it. Now what do I do with my life?
Well, he gets next issue off because it's about Balder.
Right. And we will talk about that next week.
Yeah.
Thanks, Amir. This is always fun.
Thanks, Jason.